St Machan's church lies at the Clachan of Campie in East Dunbartonshire. St Machan, or Machanus, is said to have been Irish in origin and to have been a pupil of St Cadoc. This would be in the 5th to the 6th century AD. Very little is known about him. However, they are also remembered at Machan, which is in West Lothian. He is thought to have had a chapel hereabouts, and when he died he was buried here, and the church was built over his grave. He also had a holy well nearby. It's where he would carry out baptisms. It was once a fairly substantial structure, but it appears to have been affected by the development of bleach works that once stood nearby. The first record of a church here was in the year 1216. Very little remains of the structure now, but what does remain shows several stages of construction. The church went out of use in 1828, when a new parish church was built elsewhere. The old church was demolished and the materials were used to help pay the building of the new church. However, the bell tower survived for some time. The bell was certainly rung at funerals, the graveyard being used well into the 19th century. Apart from the remains of the church, the most outstanding feature here is a possibly unique retiring room and mausoleum, built first for the Lennox family, later became the Kincaid-Lennox family. The date 1715 is carved above the entrance to the mausoleum. However, a Miss Lennox in 1819 added the top story. This was used as a retiring room, a place where they could go either between services or whilst waiting for a funeral to take place, having a fire and other conveniences. Miss Lennox was buried here in 1832. The final burial was Mrs. Kincaid-Lennox in 1876. After that, the doors were sealed using two what had one time been tabletop tombstones to a James Kincaid of 1604, another James Kincaid of 1606. Originally, the coffins had been laid onto stone shelves within the mausoleum, but later a crypt was built below. There's also a reference to a guardhouse or a watch house. This would have been where people, either the family or people who had been hired to do so, would keep watch on newly buried corpses so that they were not dug up by the resurrectionists, the body snatchers. It's possible that the retiring room had at some point been used for this purpose as well, being ideally suited with its windows looking over the cemetery. Another feature here is the cemetery wall. Excavations have shown that it may once have been either circular or oval, this being typical of ancient Celtic religious sites. A second mausoleum, or enclosed burial site, is present here. Above its entrance, it has the note carved into it, rebuilt 1881 by M.L. So this may have been a member of the Lennox family. There's a tabletop tomb inside that appears to have the coat of arms of the Lennox family. Amongst the many burials here, there are said to be at least 2 Covenanter martyrs. That is, people who did not believe that the king or the queen could be head of the church, that only God could be. These people refused to refute their beliefs, were executed.